Welcome to another video. It's been an incredible season so far in 2024. We started out in some sheltered coves, hoping for some flatfish.
It's looking good this morning, let's go out and shoot some bass.
But conditions were entirely unsuitable with massive ground swells. It would have made spearfishing pretty unpleasant, and flatfish don't like this sort of ground swell anyway.
Alright, so we've come out to a mark that can be really good for flatfish, but today it's just not looking suitable whatsoever. If you just look in there, look at all that groundswell. That is getting absolutely smacked. We were off the north coast yesterday, strong onshore winds here. The wind's now been offshore for about 3 hours, but it's going to take a good day for this to all settle down. So thought about stalking some bass, but even that's probably out. There's just far too much groundswell in there. So we're going to head to a more sheltered mark now. Be nice and flexible, adapt to the conditions, we'll get some bass there.
So we headed to another mark in a particularly remote area. The mark you're going to see in this video is not where we went. There is absolutely no way I'm giving away the place that I dived in this session because it was truly spectacular with massive numbers of bass. This is just a bit of B-roll to set the scene. Not going to give you any BS here, but you'll see just how strong the currents are on Anglesey in the next clip. It's a place to be very, very careful if you're unfamiliar with the island. Now, in the place we actually went to, saw some flatfish straight away. Just look at how well camouflaged this flounder is. If you're not specifically looking for flatfish, you generally don't see them. And actually one of the best ways to see more flatfish is to look harder. Right? Most people swim over the sand too fast, they kind of give up. Don't really believe they're going to see one. But if you really believe you're going to see one, you just look that bit harder. And look at how well camouflaged this flounder is. I don't really shoot flounder anymore, I just don't like the taste, I find it a bit muddy, but some people like them with plenty of salt and pepper, lots of lemon, and bacon, and some new potatoes. Headed out some offshore pinnacles, and we had some truly spectacular diving off these pinnacles. Now I started out actually hunting for flatfish, I was hoping for Plaice on the bottom, came across this massive concentration of female spider crabs. This was quite cool, to be all clustered together like this. And then did a bit of aspetto diving, having seen all of these baitfish. It's about a 50-metre baitfish shoal. I knew there'd be some bass about, and I saw these pretty quickly, and decided to see if I could shoot one in a hole. Now you'll see here this approach to the hole. You know, I just dropped down way too close to the hole, couldn't quite see it properly from the surface, and there is quite a good bass in here, but I spook it as I drop down. See it there, it's quite a nice fish there. Yeah, I had that. Definitely something to work on actually is my hole approaching. Not quite stealthy enough here. And I tried a bit more aguato. I'm hoping for a large bass in one of these caves, but there's plenty drifting past on the current. All schoolies, maybe 40 to 50 centimetres. But I've not done a lot of aguato hunting. I normally fish a aspetto. I've got a very good breath hold and I don't mind going quite deep, so just lying on the bottom in the kelp suits me. But it's been interesting in these sessions doing a lot more aguato, and actually the fish are quite calm around you if you move slowly and don't move the gun too quickly. You'll see here just going over one of these gullies, and I'm probably just going a bit too fast here. You'll see how the bass gets spooked, and see a bass coming up just on this really shallow ledge, about half a metre. It's quite a big fish there, but it's just too slow to get onto it. Now, this is more my style of diving. You see here quite a fast current, a pinnacle here, or the edge of the pinnacle that you saw at the start of the video. And I'm just going to drop down now. Generally, when you try and shoot a bass off the surface, it's pretty hard to shoot one. The top-down profile gives you less target area to aim at. And also the swell tends to buffet you and put you off your shot. So if you just see them on the surface, just drop down to the bottom, and they'll generally just mill around you like this. Now, this shoal was unusual. Very rarely seen genuinely large bass in aspetto, but there were quite a few here. Saw two particularly big ones that you'll see coming up shortly. That's one just drifted in there, and see that there, that's a solid 6-7 pound fish right in front of the gun. Didn't take it. I was hoping for a real monster, and again another easy chance, that large dark backed fish. Could have easily had one of these, but I just let it swim. I wasn't feeling in the mood to take that one. Let it go, and I dropped down into a deeper area here. Quite lucky to drop into this exact spot. See this perfect cover. I can almost stand up looking over the rocks, which is quite a comfortable shooting position. Because I'm using plastic fins in this video, I can stand up on the fins underwater without worrying about cracking them. And you'll see in this awesome cover, bass just cruised past. Would have been a mega easy shot. That would never even have seen me, but I just let it swim. Now, I took this clip just to show you what happens when you blow bubbles, and scuba divers generally tell me they've not seen many fish despite being underwater for half an hour, and it's because fish really hate bubbles. There's a top tip for you: if your mask is leaking, that could stop you seeing and catching fish. See this shoal of undersized bass milling around right in front of my face, and I'm going to blow some bubbles soon and watch them all scatter and not really come back. They absolutely hated that. Hated it. That's another top tip. Something else you can try when you're not in the mood to shoot a fish is click your fins together. See how the fish react to that. Very interesting. Now, this shows a perfect ambush position. See this kind of kelpy corner on the sand line on the edge of the pinnacle, and I'm waiting for bass to come in on the current. See, they come in there. They can sense that I'm there probably through the displacement of the water, maybe even hear my heartbeat underwater. I don't know what fish can hear. But because I'm in such good cover, they act very, very calmly around me. These fish are all of a shootable size, but I'm looking for a real monster here. I've got plenty of bass in the freezer. I'm not in a massive rush to shoot one in this session at all. It's quite interesting just observing their behaviour underwater. Drop in here, having seen more bass off the surface, and just watch how the bass react around me. I'm on the edge of the reef here in about 6 metres of water. The viz isn't particularly good because the current's up and running here. Just watch how calm these fish are all around me. It's a really good mark of what your level of diving is like. Is, are you seeing big shoals of fish like this? Because they're everywhere, and I never used to see fish like this. When I first started, I didn't see this in the whole season. Now I see this most sessions. So a really good mark of how you're progressing is, do you see large numbers of fish? Can you reliably find large numbers of fish? Right? It's not about what you shoot. Often a beginner will shoot a 9-pound bass that just swims under them, but are you regularly seeing large numbers of fish? Because that's a mark of your diving skill and also of your ability to predict fish behaviour and know where the fish are going to be. It's a really nice walkout, which leads us into the next session. I did a bit of catch and release line fishing, which I don't do much of. Headed out with a good friend of mine, Dave Smith, and his boat to a series of reefs off the east coast of Anglesey. And we actually had a really good session, caught over 30 fish between us. I think we had 6 bass for the boat. Released all of those. A lot of Wrasse and Pollock on feathers, and even had a Wrasse on a soft lure that hit near the surface in 8 metres of water. These Wrasse are voracious. They're so aggressive. But it's probably the bass that you want to see. So I'll just let those bass clips play.
This is a bass, isn't it?
Could you get that landing now, mate?
Yeah.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, let me get this net.
He's off.
I can hear that clutch going.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has got to be a bass. Straight over the reef again, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
he's got some power in it.
Do you reckon it's a decent one?
Yeah. Look at him go. Stripping it. Fucking hell, yeah.
So what did you say, Dave? That catching bass is like pulling girls in the nightclub with a rod?
Oh, look at him.
That's
look
a
at
lovely
him.
bass.
Oh, beautiful. Yep.
No, not in. Still going. Nearly.
Nice.
Yeah, nice one. Good bass, that.
Nice.
Very good bass.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I can see that going.
Look at it.
Jesus, that's going properly, isn't it?
That is a fucking stonker.
Yeah, that clutch is going, man.
Oh my god. Oh, careful.
Yeah, that looks like a really good bass.
Look at him run.
Mate, this is a big fish. Mate, this is a very big bass.
Yeah, look at him.
Cool. Now can I get the net ready?
Is your line in by any chance?
That'll be alright, it's out here.
I don't think he's ready yet, to be honest.
Nah, I'll just keep the net in. Oh mate, that's a good fish, that. Oh, that's an excellent fish. Oh man. Yeah, he's in.
Whoa-hey!
That is a superb bass. Right, I'm gonna get a lure on now.
Yeah, well, we fish this, mate.
That is a...
Look at the size of that.
So those of you that just tune into my videos to watch fish getting killed, you'll be understandably disappointed at this one because all the fish were unharmed in this video. But it was a stunning set of dives, an amazing boat fishing session. If you enjoyed it, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, you'll see plenty more like this, and if there's anything else you want to see, feel free to drop a comment.